On today's show, Cooper Flagg has made some key improvements that have made him just so much better than he was when he first came into the NBA. That and some things that have been awful. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog, Dwight Powell.
Your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast.
No one's dying.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You are locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years. Thanks for being in every day and making Locked On Mavs your first listen each and every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use that code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, my co-host, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years, right alongside me, the Cup crooner, the one more thinking. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
So a shout out to the New York Knicks, baby. Hang the banner. It's a big moment.
Mavs like going MVP.
I mean, Brunson, has Luka ever done that? Has
No, he's not.
Cooper Flagg done that before?
Nope.
Got an NBA Cup. Shout out. The history doesn't bode well for the Knicks for Cup winners. So they need to reverse that. And I seen Tony East tweet something like this. And it's like, hey, people want to talk about the West and the East being, the balance being off. But the East has 2 Cup championships now.
I'm saying.
Over the West. So put all those takes back. The East is back.
Today's episode, we're going to break down how the Mavericks can get back into the Cup next season.
We should have done this whole episode like that. How the Mavs get into the Cup next year.
We're not going to do that. We're going to do a naughty and nice list. Things that have been great about the Mavericks and things that have been terrible about the Dallas Mavericks. We'll talk about how offense and defense has flipped for the Mavs over the last couple of weeks. We'll talk about Ryan Nemhard. We'll talk about Naji Marshall. We'll talk about a couple of things here and there. But let's start with Cooper Flagg because it starts and ends with Cooper Flagg right now for the Dallas Mavericks. He is the story. He is everything. He is the future. It has been awesome to watch him play basketball. 42 points in the last game. Youngest player ever with 40 points. The only 18-year-old with 42 points, 40 points. Just an incredible game from him. And the more I see people post about it, the more impressed people are with what he was able to do, with the way he was able to get those points, the way he was able to get to his spots. That's been impressive. And so my first thing on the nice list, we're going on the nice list first.
Yes.
As we're going naughty and nice here. We're making our list.
Nice list.
Making our list and checking it twice.
Nick is ready for that naughty list.
Cooper Flagg figuring out his 2-point game has been absolutely incredible. That's been a thing I think that he's made a big adjustment in. And just like him figuring out where to get on the floor, figuring out his spots, figuring out where his offense comes from, that has made the big change. First 10 games of the season, he was averaging about 14 points. He was shooting 40% from the field and about 45% on 2-point shots total. And so you look at that and you're like, all right, he's figuring it out. He was playing the point. It was a lot of weirdness. Guys in and out of the lineup. That's still been the case.
Understatement.
But last 16 games, he's up to 17 points a game, shooting 59% from 2, 52% from the field overall. He's shooting 52% from the field and 23% from 3. So it's like he's shooting incredibly well from 2-point. Synergy has him ranked average as a pick and roll ball handler, which doesn't sound amazing. You're like, oh, he's average in that. That's the thing he does the most. About 25% of his offense is a pick and roll ball handler. And if at 18, he's already average or slightly above average as a pick and roll ball handler, that's an incredible sign going forward. But in isolation, he's actually ranked good, which is the next step up from average on Synergy. And so those two things combined, I think, are just like that's the bulk of his offense. Is handling the ball in isolation, handling the ball off of pick and roll, and he's doing really well off of those things, especially from 2.
He's getting to the basket. He's not settling for the long shots. I think a lot of young players early on that are of his caliber, will settle for that outside shot. You even look at kind of a switch he made beginning of the year until now. He hasn't attempted over 4 threes in a game since November 12th. And that was a game against Phoenix that he shot 7. And before that game, he attempted 7 threes in a game, 5 threes in a game, 5, 5, 6, 6, 5. Like these are multiple games a handful of games that he shot at least 5 threes in a game. And since then, I mean, what was that, 13, 14 games? There's only been a 3 times in that span that he shot 4 threes in a game. It just shows you, and his average has went up. It just shows you that his processing and the decision making of, hey, like that really wasn't like efficient for me early on in the season. I'm going to get to the basket because I'm so big and I can use my size. And I think that's such an impressive, part for me with him. And I wrote down his left hand as far as being on the nice list.
For sure.
I mean, is Kyrie jealous right now? Like, I feel like Kyrie's over there like, get me on the court now. That's what will bring Kyrie back this season is I got to show people that my left hand is better than Cooper Flagg's left hand.
The way they were talking about him being ambidextrous on the broadcast, because he was asked, like, are you right-handed or what's your dominant hand? He's like, I am dominant right-handed. But when you look on the court, he's driving the left more. He's finishing.
Don't start that. We can't have another Ben Simmons thing. All right.
Well, he's shooting from 3 almost the same as Ben Simmons. But Ben Simmons was not doing the things that Cooper Flagg is doing.
We can't be having a debate in 2 years of like, should Cooper be shooting left-handed like in his jump shots? Is he shooting with the right hand? It is wild.
Imagine if we were like, he could shoot mid-range right-handed, but he's got to shoot threes left-handed. Like that's what fixes.
That would be a take we should have. It is pretty wild though that the amount of times, and even in the clutch, that he is. I mean, it is like he doesn't even think about it. Like, I'm gonna go to my left hand. Like, I mean, the shots and stuff that he attempts with his left hand, and I mean, he's efficient with it. It's pretty wild that that's already there at 18.
Incredible. He's been awesome. So that's my first thing on the nice list is him figuring out his 2-point game.
Yeah. So something I had on the nice list is the Mavs in transition.
Huge.
I think going into the season, we were like, hey, they got to play faster. They want to play faster. Even with Anthony Davis on the floor, a guy like D'Angelo Russell tells us at media day that, he's like, hey, playing with AD, he likes to get out and run. We're going to have fun with this, which, Russell's folding towels right now. But they're at least they're playing with this faster pace, and pace doesn't mean that, hey, it doesn't mean that you got higher pace, you're going to win more games, but they're 5th in pace right now. And when you look at some of their transition stuff, and now I get it, pace and transition doesn't always like go together with this, but when the Mavericks get out and run and they play at this faster speed and they get in transition more, they have the athletes out there. They have a guy, Cooper Flagg's amazing in transition. Naji Marshall, let him get into the paint. PJ, these guys getting them out in transition. AD, the Mavs are in the 93rd percentile in transition and scoring and points per possession. They're second in the league, only behind the Oklahoma City Thunder. So they're literally the best team in the league in transition, most efficient team in the league in transition behind OKC. And so it just goes to show you, I mean, there's an alternative in that I'll mention later on about their half court offense. But if this team gets out and runs, they are much, much better and more efficient, and they have the athletes and young guys to get out and run.
And they've been good in that. And so when you say just because they play fast doesn't mean that's good. If you look at the top teams in pace, it is actually funny to see who are the top teams. Top team is the Heat. They're fine. The next ones are Bulls, Blazers, Jazz, Wizards. You're like, ooh, not a great list. So it's not always because you're fast. No. You're good. But the Mavericks have been good playing in transition. That's the one thing that Cooper Flagg and Synergy is ranked excellent at on offense is transition. And so they've been really good. They've figured out how to get stuff going there, and that's how they've created offense. And that has been a really good area of their game. That definitely deserves to be on the nice list.
Of course, it has to be on the nice list. They got to get presents for that this year.
Presents?
Yeah, if you're on the nice list, you get presents.
Their transition offense gets presents.
Shout out to all the kids that's listening to the show. We've met multiple families and stuff at shows in which we get introduced to some kids and kids watching in a classroom, and if you're on the naughty or nice list. So if you're wanting that new Transformer, you better be on the nice list.
Optimus Prime transform. And then it just does. It's crazy. Coming up, let's talk about some things that are on the naughty list. The Mavericks defense in the last 3 weeks, completely different than it was at the beginning of the season. Why? We'll tell you coming up. Locked On.
Of course, it has to be on the nice list.
The Mavericks defense in the last 3 weeks, completely different than it was at the beginning of the season. Why? We'll tell you coming up. Locked On. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Skims, the underwear I'm wearing right now. Absolutely awesome. When Skims announced they're making underwear for men, the reaction made perfect sense. People have been talking about Skims Comfort for years. And I was like, okay, you guys do women's underwear. You do all this stuff. It's just a lot of hype, right? I saw a lot of commercials, saw a lot of celebrity endorsements, and I was like, all right, what? Then they sent me some. Then I started wearing them. Then I started buying some for myself, and it's my go-to every time. Absolutely. Go check out Skims. Check out the underwear that they make for men. They also have their holiday shop open right now, so you can find the perfect gift for whoever you're looking for.
Speaking of the naughty list,
Skims has you covered if you are on the naughty list or the nice list. Shop Skims Men's at skims.com. And when you place your order, this is important. Choose podcast in the post-purchase survey and select our show from the drop-down menu so they know that we sent you. Again, skims.com, and then select podcast in the post-purchase survey.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad. That's what we call our listeners, listening every day. Join the text line. Link in the description, QR code as well. You'll get access to the Discord. You just text Discord to that number. Then you'll also want to be part of the Everydayers Club. You get ad-free episodes of this show, plus access to the Discord, national bonus content, all kinds of other stuff with the Everydayers Club. You can join both, either. We don't care. Just join in. Be part of that Discord. That's
talking a bunch of fake trades today in Discord.
Yep.
It was fun.
I started the Casey Smith Memorial Hospital channel today where people were talking about, that's where people talk about injuries. They're like, we need a chat for us to just talk about injuries. And so I started the Casey Smith Memorial Hospital channel. All right, Isaac, we're talking about the naughty and nice list for the Mavericks. We talked about the Mavs. The Mavs transition offense has been great as of late. Cooper Flagg has been really great as of late. He's figured out his 2-point game. Some stuff on the naughty list.
Uh-oh.
Cooper Flagg's 3-point shot.
I was going to go with Mavs man, but all right, keep going.
Mavs man is part of the Raccoon Squad, not on the naughty list.
Raccoon Squad or not, you're creepy.
He's in it.
Okay, your outfit is creepy. We need a new fit. You got to be more than
we
like
cannot
this Power
disparage
Ranger.
one of our own, Isaac.
Okay, we love you.
Now,
is Champ part of the Raccoon Squad?
I have not confirmed if Champ is part of the Raccoon Squad or not.
Somebody let us know. Somebody listen to this is connected to Champ. You need to let us know if they listen.
I've honestly heard from all aspects of the Dallas Mavericks organization, have not heard from Champ.
Honestly, yeah. From Dumont.
Mark Folwell sends me texts sometimes about from things in the show. Derek Harper came up to me one time and said that he listens to this show and enjoys it. Rolando Blackman said that I love you and Adam on that show. That's what he.
Yeah. My parents named me Adam. You just don't know that.
That was a great one. I was like, Isaac. He goes, oh yeah.
Love you,
right.
love you, Ro. I don't care what you call me. You can call me whatever you want to.
I got a kick out of that because I was like, call him Adam. Cooper Flagg's 3-point shot though has been that has been a tough thing. This is a thing I'm not worried about long term for him. I think this is a thing that they'll fix. He'll figure out. Here's an interesting thing though. This has been my theory: is that his thumb injury has been the big reason why he's struggled.
Yeah, tell me more.
Okay. He had the thumb injury around like November 11th. Now, November 12th, he went 3 of 7 from 3. So I don't know how to explain that game because that was his best 3-point shooting game of his career, really.
I can't remember it too much. He could have shot him left-handed.
I'm going to go before November 12th and after November 12th, right after that game. 14 of 49 before November 12th. That's like 29%. So it's not great. It's not good either.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Since November 12th, 8 of 39, 20% from 3.
Wonder why he drives.
He's not shooting well from 3. It's actually gone way down. It's honestly one of the few things that he's actually gotten worse at as the season has gone on. And I do think that this thumb injury, he's had this like splint thing on, splint like wrap on his hand. I think that has affected him. The fatigue I think has affected him for sure in the legs. That's something as we've seen in some of these games. But that's the one thing from Cooper Flagg's game I'll put on the naughty list is that his 3-point shot is not rounded into form or improved throughout the season.
Yeah, it's I mean, you said it. It's like one of the one things about Cooper that you can look at right now and be like, all right, this is part of a game that's got to improve on it. And thumb injury or not, there's some mechanic things that's the number one thing. Someone wrote in our Q&A on our insider program the other day. It's like, what's like the off-season improvement for Cooper?
Yeah.
And although I think ball handling will still be a thing for him to just continue to get better at. It's just the shot. It's the mechanics of the shot down to the legs and the form of that. And so you're nitpicking. It's Cooper Flagg, but that's just the area that I think that he'll work on. For me, I'll stay on the.
When's the last time he hit more than 1 3 in a game?
Oh gosh, Duke.
No, he's done that. November 17th. It's been a month.
Crap.
Yeah.
I'll stay on the offensive side of the ball. Something that's on the naughty list for the Mavs is their half court offense. They're great in transition, but in the half court, when you slow this game down, like when it comes playoff time and things get slowed down a lot, in the half court. So on Synergy, we talk about Synergy a lot, has a lot of cool stats and stuff. And when you look at it, you can look at different areas of offense, and you can do shot types, and but you can just do these like different groupings of offense, like transition. And one of those is half court offense, and there's a percentile, there's a percentage. And so in transition, I said earlier they're in the second percentile, or they're in the 93rd percentile. That is number 2 in the league, and it gives them that one word we say sometimes, like very good, and that one was excellent. So Mavs half court offense on Synergy said 0%. I'm like, whoa,
the 0th percentile, which is not a number.
Don't see that very often. 0%. So of course I had to click on it, and obviously that means they're last in the league in half court offense, points per possession. They're near the bottom of the league in field goals made and field goal percentage in the half court. Now, some of that this is for the whole season so far, so 27 games for the Mavs. Some of that goes into play of like who's setting up the offense when they were trying to run Cooper at point guard early on, compared to when they have a guy like Ryan Nemhard. It also goes to show you that you got to have multiple guys. Like you got to have multiple guys that can create and set up an offense. And this actually does equate to some winning, because when you look at the top teams in the league in that percentile and look at the opposite end of the list there on Synergy, here are the top teams: Nuggets, Lakers, Thunder, Wolves, Knicks, Celtics. All teams that are in at least the top 6 of their conference. When you look at the Nuggets, Thunder, Knicks just won, they're champs. They just won the cup. Celtics are playing incredible basketball. Lakers are, they're second or third maybe in the West right now. I don't know what they are. You have to be able to do this. Now, if you're up there, does that mean you're going to be in the title game? No, it doesn't. But you have to be able to do this, especially come playoff time. You have to be efficient in the half court, because a lot of times in the playoffs, things slow down a lot. And then it becomes who's going to be the magician out there, who can run these, the efficient offense in a half court. So they're definitely on the naughty list with this, and they got to get better at it.
Their offense has been better. I put their offense the last 3 weeks on the nice list because it's been good.
Give me some numbers from that.
It's really coincided with Ryan Nemhard coming into the lineup.
Let's go.
He's had 8 starts, and the Mavs last 8 games over the last 2 weeks they have 120 offensive rating basically. To start the season, the first 19 games of the season, they had 106 offensive rating. That is the difference between like a really good NBA offense and like a non-NBA offense. 106 is like you didn't even show up to play today as an NBA offense.
To your point, what's wild about that is it's been that way the past few weeks, and they're still just 29th or 28th or in the league in offense. They have moved up a few spots in the offensive rating.
Yeah, they're like 27th. They've moved up like 2 spots, and the teams that
the
teams that have gotten lower than them are the Wizards and the Pacers. Oof.
There you go. The past few weeks got you past the Wizards and Pacers.
Tough,
so that's good.
Tough. But I think that this turn, you talked about the half court offense being bad. I think adding in Nemhard has now you have multiple creators. You have Nemhard, you have Cooper Flagg. Naji has been added to the starting lineup too the last couple of games, and I think that has added a dynamic of a slasher. And Anthony Davis has played 6 out of the 8 games, and I think that's another one where you add another like offensive hub creator in a way. The Mavs wanted him to be the hub at the beginning of the season, and I don't know that we've seen that much so far this season. But yeah, the Mavs have only had 2 games in these 8 games that have been under the 54th percentile in offensive rating. Like they've been above average in every single one of them. Above average rate in every single one of them except for 2 games.
It's almost like they've flipped their offense and defense.
They have flipped their offense and defense. That is a big thing. And that has been a fascinating thing to me. So coming up, let's talk about more things on the naughty list. Their defense. Their offense has been great the last couple weeks. Their defense has completely flipped. We'll talk about that and more. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $20 off your first purchase. If you haven't used it yet, it's time. World Cup is coming back. 48 teams for the first time ever. It's going to be massive. Let's be honest. Getting tickets to that may be impossible, but not on Game Time. You can go check them out. You can go get them. I even saw where the World Cup themselves are like, we're releasing exclusive tickets just for the final game or whatever. You can get them all at Game Time. I see them. They're already up there. Go check it out. The seat view feature is a game changer. You literally see what the pitch looks like from your exact seats before you buy. Same thing for a court, for a football field, whatever. I went to the Cowboys game recently, checked that out on Game Time, was able to see the view from my seat, see exactly what I was going to pay from checkout, take the guesswork out of buying World Cup tickets and every match, concert, or event with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create the account, use the code. It's Locked On NBA, all one word. You get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, download the app, make an account, use the code Locked On NBA for $20 off at Game Time. Also brought to you by our friends over at Robinhood. Nobody knows your money goals better than you do. Robinhood puts you in control of your money with tools that work as hard as you do. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks, ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all in one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood's Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, so expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. It's your money, your move.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Isaac, we're going through our naughty and nice list for the Dallas Mavericks to start the season. Naughty list is the record. the Mavs record being 10-17. Not great. But I do want to talk about the offense and defense being flipped, because we talked about how the offense, the half-court offense for the whole season has been bad. The offense to start the season is on the naughty list. That was absolutely brutal. They had 106 offensive rating for the first 19 games, 30th in the league, 1.8 points lower than the next team, which is Indiana. That is wild. Anthony Davis only played in 5 of the 19 games, and Lively only played 7. Gafford only played 13. Flagg's stats in that were he was averaging 16 points and taking like 13 and a half shots, 45% from the floor. Just, they hadn't figured out what they were yet. Then they introduced Ryan Nemhard, and I think that has in move Cooper Flagg to the forward spot. They've got Ryan Nemhard in there as a point guard to set things up, and the offense has kind of exploded. We talked about how that has been great. They've had 120 offensive rating. That's been a big change. Obviously, having Anthony Davis back. They've had Anthony Davis for 6 games out of the 8. They only had him for 5 of the first 19. That's obviously been a huge change. To bring him back, Ryan Nemhard in the starting lineup. Cooper Flagg's been awesome in these last 8 games. 24 points, taking 17 shots a game, shooting 54% from the floor. Like, all those things are way up from the beginning. But then the thing that happened is their defense has completely fallen off. That's what's been on the naughty list for me. Is over the last 3 weeks, they've had 120 defensive rating too, which is terrible. It's 22nd in the league. It's not all the way at the bottom, but that's been absolutely brutal. Their defense has. And I think that's something that they prided themselves on defense at the beginning. That was like the one thing that was working for the team. And now it's one of the things that's not working at all. Nico
took it with him. He was just like,
that's what it was.
Hey, defense wins championships. Now I'm going to take all the defense from you. And now kids like, screw that. See, it's offense wins championships. No, it's this team's so hard to figure out when it comes to some of these things of like some of these numbers, and a lot of it. I even look at some of the defensive stuff with like guarding the perimeter and guarding the outside shot, and it's like you look at some of their numbers of like 3-pointers made against them, or 3-point percentage against it, and it's like really good, and it's like, all right, so how much of that is because we haven't had a ton of like 2 bigs on the floor? And it's like, if you did have 2 bigs on the floor, would that be different? Would you be giving up more threes? Because that was something early on. I mean, I remember us texting about it in the preseason. We're like, they're going to give up 1 million 3-pointers. because they were running two bigs out there. And now all of a sudden we have, Gafford, Lively, AD, two out of those three closing out on these shots. And it's like, dude, their teams are just going to chuck them. I remember being at Dickies Arena there in Fort Worth, watching OKC shoot 1,000,000 3-pointers. I'm like, this is going to be a long season seeing these 3-pointers go up. But it's like, but there's been injuries. So like, how do you judge this team of like defense? And now it's like, they've basically been running one big. AD's been at the 5, and we were talking about this before. It's weird that AD's been at the 5, playing a lot, and it's been efficient, but it hasn't been efficient defensively.
The defense has been worse. Like I said, he played more games in these last 8 than he played in the first 19, and the defense has been way worse in this than it was at the beginning.
Yeah, so that's the part. I mean, and you can't look at this and say it's all on Nemhard, because Nemhard's in there and he's small, and that's something we brought up earlier on. Like, I don't think you can blame this all on Ryan Nemhard and defense stuff. So it's weird. I mean, it's just weird. It's hard to pinpoint something drastically of like, hey, this is why their defenses went down. This is where I do think some of the offensive stuff, they've just, by staying in transition and keeping it at a fast pace, and they have a guy, they got a guy, even a guy like Naji Marshall, which this was on my nice list before, but you have like Naji Marshall that's continuously pushing the ball, trying to get into the paint. And Naji's, in the 99th percentile of, shots on points per possession, shots inside 17 feet. Like, he's shooting 79% from, shots inside 17 feet. That's insane for a wing. Like,
yeah,
typically you're looking at bigs like shooting those type of shots. So I think they have more people attacking the rim and stuff right now that keeps their offense going. Rebound, get it out in transition, push. I was even watching some of that stuff in the Spurs tonight of just how much they push and get into the paint to kick out to some of these guys on the 3-point line. So it's hard to figure out the reason why it's swapped, but it really has.
If you had to guess where the Mavericks rank in percentage of their opponent's shots that are taken from 3, where they rank among the league right now,
percentage of 3-pointers
opponent's
against
shots. So what percent of opponent's shots are 3s?
Isn't it top 5 maybe?
They're second. They only 34% of opponents' shots are 3s. So the whole preseason we were like, man, they're going to allow a lot of 3s.
Yeah.
Now they haven't played double bigs at all, and they are not allowing any 3s really at all.
Yeah, they're just giving up 1,000,000 shots. 2-pointers, I think they're like near the bottom of the league, right? Like,
yeah, they're short mid-range shot. 26% of teams short mid-range shots, like that middle of the paint kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's
27th in the NBA, by the way.
No shots at Dwight Powell here, but that's when you're playing Dwight Powell, you're playing small, you don't have a big on the floor. These games where Lively and Gafford are both out, and AD's taking a breather, and it's Dwight or someone like. Teams are just. that game the other guy against Utah. It was just a feast of. It was no AD. Nurkic wasn't playing, and it was just like, we're just going to feast in the paint, both teams.
Yeah, or then if it's only AD at the 5. Then they can have a shooting big, and all of a sudden he's out on the perimeter anyway. And I think that has been a thing too. I will admit, a lot of these numbers we're bringing up, they're small sample sizes. It's 8 games.
Oh, yeah.
Even the first 19 is a small sample size, and so there's a lot of variance. Like I look through some of the game logs and like, man, their defense has been bad. Well, one of those games is the Lakers game. They have 137 off defensive rating. That's awful. And then against the Thunder, that game was 140. Like, those are both two of the worst numbers you can get in there. And so a lot of those are skewed by some of these, but I do think some of these trends are interesting.
Yeah. Something I'll put on the naughty list too. And just because these are the 2 players that we want to see play a lot and a lot of fans want to see play a lot, is AD and Cooper minutes together as a duo. They played in 238 minutes together, and it's a -8 net rating with 108 offensive rating. So now, once again, I didn't compare that of like when Ryan Nemhard plays, which is crazy that we're at like, when's the 2-way guy going to play? Like, how much does that change it? But 238 minutes together, -8, 108 offensive rating. You want that to be better between your 2 guys, especially with Kyrie out. That's your 2 best players right there. And you need that to be better if you want to go the opposite direction of down.
What is the opposite direction of down?
going for it, baby.
All right, Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis together, plus Ryan Nemhard. So you mentioned how the offense was bad. It was like what? It was I think it was a 110 on cleaning the glass.
Okay.
Goes up to 117 on offense, which is
Okay.
good. That's above average, slightly above average.
What's
The
the net?
defense. Would you like to guess if the defense is good or bad?
I'm gonna say good.
It's not. 130.6 defensive rating. It's in the 1th percentile.
Oh my gosh, how many minutes together?
222 possessions. So not a lot. That's like 2 games. That's like 2 full games that they all played 48 minutes together. So it's not a lot, but that is not a good sign. That the defense has been bad the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. Yes, it has. I don't really have. I did put this in there.
I just want to say that's with Anthony Davis. This is one of the weirdest thing about this is Anthony Davis has not like affected the Mavericks defense for good in a weird way.
Yeah, especially over the past few weeks. Side note, really bummed that he didn't play in that Nets game because I pointed out this stat a while back. He has yet to play more than 5 games in a row for the Mavs.
I know.
And he just played his 5th game in a row, and that Nets game was going to be a 6th game in a row, and he had, he set out for it. I'm like, so now we reset the counter again. I'm like, can we get 6 games in a row from Anthony Davis in Dallas?
The Jazz game you meant is the one he set out. He played
Jazz game, yeah. Sorry. I did look this up because I was like, I wonder what the if we're looking at like start or the best 5 right now, take out Kyrie for a second. And it's like, all right, what would you say is like what would you say is like, hey, the best 5 right now, if you could put any 5 on the floor?
Oh boy. Well, those numbers that I just said, it makes me not want to put the players that I want to put in there. I would say it's Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, PJ Washington. I would put Nemhard in there, and I would throw Christie in there. That would be my 5, I think.
There you go. That's the 5 I went with. They've played in 1 game together, and they've played a total of 15 minutes together as a 5-man unit.
How is that possible?
I know. That's why I was like,
PJ's been in and out. AD's been in and out. I mean,
Yeah.
there's reason. Nemhard just got added to the lineup.
So 15 minutes together with those 5 on the floor. I would like to see a little bit more of that.
And Kidd has been starting Naji instead of Max the last couple of games, and so I think that's effective.
Yeah.
Interesting. A lot more to come. We'll have more. We'll have a post-game show covering the Mavs games after every single one of them, so go check out those shows. We'll have some bonus shows coming up. Check the QR code for links in the description and links in the description for different ways to join the Everydayer Club or the text line. Those both get access to the Discord. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs.
Peace out.